JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Man fatally shot. 2 arrested following alleged police confrontation in Manchester. The police in Manchester reporting that a man was shot and killed and a gun seized during an alleged confrontation with lawmen along the Bronte Main Road in Christian on Wednesday night. The deceased man has not yet been identified. 2 other men were taken into custody in connection with the incident, which investigators say is linked to alleged extortion activities in the area. According to the police, a patrol team received information that 3 armed men were extorting money from residents. The team later spotted individuals matching the description along the Bronte Main Road. When one of the men was approached by the police, he reportedly pulled a gun from his waistband and pointed it at an officer. The policeman took evasive action and fired 2 shots from his service weapon, hitting the man, who fell to the ground clutching the gun. Police recovered a bronze and a black Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 5 rounds, including one in the breech. The injured man was transported to the Percy Junior Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Father charged with murder of daughter in Clarendon, Lawrence Sargent. The father of 13-year-old Christian high school student Shantina Sargent has been formally charged with her murder, just over a month after her child remains were discovered behind their family home in Baileystown, Clarendon. Police confirmed that Sargent was charged on Wednesday following forensic analysis and DNA testing, which conclusively identified the remains as belonging to his daughter. Investigators believe Shantina was struck with a blunt object before her body was set on fire and hidden behind the family's home. A post-mortem examination later confirmed that she died from blunt force trauma. Sargent was arrested in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, 4 days after the gruesome discovery on October 6 and questioned in the presence of his attorney. Police also revealed that Sargent is currently before the courts on a separate grievous sexual assault charge linked to allegations that he molested a 6-year-old child several years ago. JDF to airlift Starlink units to isolated areas Thursday. The Jamaica Defense Force JDF will begin to airlift Starlink internet devices into selected communities on Thursday, according to Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz.
6 weeks, USF aims to deliver at least 90 community connectivity solutions in the affected areas, meaning people will be able to stay in their communities and communicate. Starting today, the JDF is airlifting Starlink units and generators into isolated communities to establish community Wi-Fi hubs and support humanitarian operations. Starlink is being used to restore mobile backhaul for 4 and digital towers in the west, helping to connect 250,000 people in the affected areas. In addition, hospitals and emergency services are now using Starlink to stay connected, request supplies, and coordinate relief and more. We got 600 Starlink, 400 fixed, and 200 mobiles last week, Friday night. And I'm pleased to say that all have been given out in priority order for the affected areas. Sorry. Some would want 20, but we could only give them 10. But we're making sure that the next batch we will give optimum to all of the relief agencies that require. I'm making a public appeal to those government entities, agencies, NGOs that are being allocated these. They're of no use unless they are activated. If they are not activated, they are of no use. And I cannot get more if Starlink sees that there's no activity on the 600.
Field Hospital for Falmouth, 2 sites been assessed in Westmoreland. As health services at the Field Hospital established in Black River, St. Elizabeth get underway, another unit is scheduled to be set up in Falmouth, Trelawney in the coming days, according to Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton.
I went to the airport with the Spanish ambassador, EU ambassador, and representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade to meet 76 citizens of Spain, doctors, nurses, technicians, engineers. They are also going to be deploying a field hospital. I understand that it's on its way now from Kingston, should be in Falmouth by now. And we're hoping over the next couple of days, a second full-fledged field hospital will be mounted in Falmouth, with all the services of emergency care, surgery, pediatrics, traumatology, physiotherapy, psychology, general anesthetic services, radiology services, lab pharmacy, sterilization, and so on. So a full-fledged facility, the second field hospital. We're hoping tomorrow I'll visit that site, and we're hoping that that will be up and running. That will take a lot of pressure off the Falmouth Hospital, but will serve beyond Falmouth. It could go over into St. James, depending on where the challenges are. So that's a positive development, and we want to thank the people of Spain and the European Union for that collaboration. We're working on a third field hospital to be deployed at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in Montego Bay. This one is a discussion which I'm told is close to finalization with the people and government of Barbados, which will be flown into the island hopefully sometime soon. That will also come with all the things that I've just described for the previous ones, and that will provide critical support for the Cornwall Regional Operation and the people in St. James. And I will provide more details on that once we get those details.
Holness says he hears hungry babies crying. A systematic response was in place to reach them.
There was a scramble. And that scramble essentially was, my hand is up, I need help. And the system trying to respond to the loudest voices or the most frantic wave of hands. As of today, we are out of that phase. Now, a systematic response will take over in the relief effort. And you would see that the government has made certain actions to ensure that there is a systematic response. Let me say it in another way. I hear the cry of every baby that is now hungry in a community that is not yet reached. It goes to bed with me. And I have to think of it in this way. Do I try myself to jump on a helicopter with a package to reach the baby that is crying? Or do I try to develop a system to get more helicopters in, to get more packages put together, to get more supplies in, to get more support to be able to reach those babies that are crying? While at the same time saying to Keith and Darrell and Minister Tufton, get out there in the scramble. And so that is what you have been seeing. People individually going out there trying to relieve the human suffering. But that is not a sustainable response. The sustainable response is what you would see the government doing now. One, we have to streamline ODPEM, both as the Office of Disaster Preparedness, which that function was done, that phase is over, and now we are in the phase of the emergency management, which is the relief.
Spice donates building supplies to Bethel town. Jamaica receives relief supplies from India.
To share with you that we have C-17 Indian aircraft, Indian Air Force plane, which has landed in Kingston today. It is carrying 20-ton weight of material, relief material, humanitarian aid and disaster relief material for Jamaica. The material is for immediate relief like shelter, sleeping bags, tents, mattresses, pillows. It is also carrying ECG machines, that is for measurement of medical trauma. It is also carrying 1,000 kilogram heavy unit of mobile medical trauma unit, which is comprising of 72 boxes. Each box is carrying medical equipment, which is very high tech. This can be mobilized and taken to the affected area immediately through either road, through air, helicopters, or even through boats. It's like a very big hospital compacted into 72 boxes. It has got, for example, intensive care and even surgery-related equipment and medicines and kits, which can help treat people and also supply them medicines and other things. In addition to that, a team of 4 medical experts have also arrived in Jamaica with this flight. They will be training the medical team, paramedics and doctors of Jamaica how to handle this special medical trauma unit.
JPS says about 55% of customers have electricity.
If we think about how are we doing so far, I want to break the island up into, say, 5 categories in regards to our restoration. So in the parishes of St. Mary and St. Anne, we continue to make progress there. But if you think about the analogy of, say, a river, whereby you have a source with a generator, and then that source has a main channel, which is a river. That's a main stream. That main channel then goes to a substation, that's a reservoir. That reservoir then goes ahead and feeds streams and creeks. Those are the distribution lines that you see on the road, and then those streams and creeks then goes ahead and feed your home. What happened as a result of Beryl is that main river, that main river ran dry, whereby significant damage on that infrastructure. So as a result, we're focusing our efforts on restoring that particular main river. So if you look here at some of the damages that you may see, this is what it looks like in terms of the damage across the island. Significant damage. During Beryl, we did not see this type of extensive damage. So we focused on establishing, during Beryl, we did not see that extensive damage. So during now, with Melissa, we focused on restoring that main river. And we have been making progress. At the start, we had over 75% of that main river dry. Right now, we have more than 25% restored, so less than 50% is dry. But we got to get that river up in order to supply many of the key areas. So where is it that we have that main river dry? It's dry in areas out in the western part of the island. So you think about Hanover, St. James, also the midsection, St. Elizabeth. Those areas, the river is dry. So we focused on that. But I have good news for you. We were able to start one of our engines, generators in that western area. That's up and running and prepared to start supplying a source once we're able to establish that main river, which is good news. So we continue to make progress there. So as we think about, this clicker is not working or responding. Okay, here we go. That's the Bogue power plant that you see there, that's up and running out west. It's a bit slow, but as we move through the various groups, right? So St. Mary and St. Anne, we're making good progress there. Assessment is going well. Critical facilities, we have our eyes on Port Maria Hospital, St. Anne's Hospital, and town centers, and we will get to you. As we move on from St. Anne, we're now in the areas of Portland, Clarendon, and Manchester. The good news is we have restored more than 60% of Portland, more than 65% of Clarendon, more than 40% of Manchester. We continue to assess and we're moving forward in those areas whereby in a matter of weeks we're looking to have greater restoration in those particular areas. As I mentioned before, in the areas of Trelawney, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth and Hanover, there is no river. So the key there is to establish that river. Once we establish that river, we already have the source, which is the supply out west in Bogue, and then we can start providing that needed power. We currently operate in the island in 2 separate systems, one out west and one out east, in order to facilitate more timely restoration as we go ahead and as we move forward. I just want to touch on the parish of St. James, whereby there's also very severely damaged. But we also recognize that's a major economic center for the country. So we continue to work through plans to facilitate safe and timely restoration of the St. James and in particular Montego Bay. So we have the generation there. We're now working to establish that main river. After we establish that main river, which is severely damaged, we'll then continue to establish the streams and the creeks and get power to the key economic centers, to hospitals, to the water pumps and other critical facilities. So we continue to make progress and we continue to really work it to ensure that we can go ahead and establish that main river. So as we continue to focus on the restoration, one of the key things are our critical sites. We have been partnering with very important partners. I want to make a special call out right now to Minister Bartlett. He was able to assist us in actually getting some rooms for some of the overseas line workers that we're bringing in. Today, we're bringing in over 100 line workers from overseas. That's going to bring us to more than 230. So that's a good thing. I want to thank Minister Tufton for the partnership with the Ministry of Education. Minister Vaz, I know I spoke to you this morning in regards to getting health. Minister Vaz, I know I spoke with you this morning in regards to getting more vehicles here and the vessels so that we can get them in, and that's also a good thing.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.